if you are limited to only one peak, you will never see the entire mountain range, including the valleys, which are very beautiful. नॉर्मल घर है, नॉर्मल खाना बनता है, नॉर्मल बातें होती हैं, दोस्त आते हैं, बच्चे होते हैं, आवाज हो रही होती है. My son saw the TV and he said, "Papa, why are you running away from the police?" So I said, "I'm playing a bad guy." Why are you playing a bad guy? The ones that I really appreciate are the ones that are unexpected and organic. I think those are the ones that you really appreciate. बाकी लोग तो दोस्ती है तो कॉल करके बोल देना यार अच्छा था बुरा. And for which you need to give it time. You know, there's nothing that you can do. Without giving something time, you cannot make it your priority. Why are you satisfied? Today I have arrived. ऐसे नहीं. That's why you have to go through life. Right? Everything in life is a journey. You know, you have to look at your career or your life as a journey. You know, there's so many things that will happen in a life.
भाई ये क्यूट है, ये चार्मिंग है, ये चॉकलेट बॉय है, ये बहुत कुछ है. ये फर्जी के फ को फ ही बोलते हैं. एंड मेरे पास अभी जो यहाँ पे मौजूद है इज द ओरिजिनल ओजी मिनियन, जिसको हम बोल सकते हैं द हॉटेस्ट एंड मोस्ट हैंडसम मिनियन ओवर हियर. येलो एंड ब्लू में बहुत अच्छे लग रहे हैं यहाँ पे. शाहिद सर ओवर हियर इज सेलिब्रेटिंग द सक्सेस ऑफ फर्जी टुडे. बिफोर दैट कैन वी प्लीज क्लैप गाइस? थोड़ा ताली बजा दो बिकॉज वी वांट टू डू दैट. वी आर सेलिब्रेटिंग फॉर अ गुड कॉज. लव इट. वी सी द अटेंशन ओवर हियर सर. आई थिंक 2 दिन या 1 दिन पहले कुछ एक स्टैट्स आया, मैंने देखा वहाँ पे स्टैट वाज समथिंग लाइक बिगेस्ट ओपनिंग फॉर अ लोकल रीजनल शो
जी
for Amazon. I think with something like this, when big stars like you come into the scenario, it not only does a huge thing for the platform, of course, but overall as well, it just increases the audience perspective as well to a great way.
Sure.
When you see statistics, these kind of statistics, that too in your digital debut, sir, मजा आता है देख के?
Yeah, actually, we kind of expected Farzi, especially to start well, because people have love for Raj and DK, and because it is my OTT debut, and people already liked the promo that we put out. So we were hoping for a good start, but actually on one day it was #1 globally on Amazon.
Oh yes.
And that was the day that I felt I was shocked. I was like, that is not something I was expecting.
Yeah.
So that was way beyond my expectations. So that was a very special day for original Indian content to be #1 globally.
Exactly.
I think it's a huge statement to make.
Yeah.
It shows the numbers that we have. India is the highest consumption of data happens in India.
Yeah.
We are almost America and China put together.
Correct.
So that's the amount of data consumption that India is, the Indian audience or the Indian Janta is doing. And the world needs to recognize that.
Yes.
And I think what happened with Farzi was again, a reflection of the fact that if we do something substantial, it can make global impact. And that really was a spectacular feeling.
Yeah.
That you can be that show, which is ahead of every other show in any other language on that given day. So that was amazing.
with I think a reach of more than 300 countries, if I'm not wrong.
I don't know exactly
the
how many
numbers, but I think it's huge.
But yeah. It's substantial.
So sir, कहा जाता है दिल तो बच्चा है जी. So when you see those kind of numbers, no matter how many years you've been in the industry, अंदर से वो ये निकलता है कि यार something is really happening.
So I think this whole number thing is something that the media always ensures that people see. But what cannot be expressed is the love in people's eyes.
Yeah.
When you meet people. Being an actor, I travel, I move, I go from point A to point B, and I can feel when you have done something that is being loved a lot.
Correct.
You feel it around you constantly, from the way people look at you or how they come and talk to you, and you can see it from, you just feel it. That you can feel that energy. So what is very kind of beautiful for me is that feeling. Numbers are important professionally, but the love that you get personally, I think that's what I do this. I love doing this for that. And of course, the numbers are required. But that's more like a mathematical, professional kind of thing.
Correct.
But personally, emotionally, that is what I actually really enjoy, the personal interaction.
So sir, अगर मैं आपको पूछूं कि whenever there's like a nice moment or a success moment or a milestone, how does Shahid Kapoor actually like to celebrate that?
I like to be with family and with close friends, and I like to talk to the team, the people who made it happen. I feel the need to connect with them, talk to them, and talk to the world about it. Like sitting out here today doing this is something that I really want to do, because I feel so happy and thankful and excited about the fact that something that I've done has received so much love. So I like to do everything.
सर Amazon Prime Video में अगर फर्जी धूम मचा रहे हैं तो Instagram पे योर रील कंटेंट इज समथिंग दैट्स रियली किलिंग इट. आई थिंक मीरा मैम ने कुछ एक दिन पहले या 2 दिन पहले भी कुछ डाला था. आई थिंक शी आई थिंक स्नैप्ड यू इन सम रियली इंटरेस्टिंग कैंडिड डांस मूवमेंट. तो ये घर पे वैसा माहौल हमेशा रहता है या फिर यू एक्टिवली ट्राई बिकॉज यू नो यू वांट टू एंश्योर दैट यू नो यू ब्रिंग इन दैट पॉजिटिव वाइब इन योर फैमिली एंड वो अच्छा माहौल हमेशा बना रहे?
नॉर्मल घर है यार, नॉर्मल घर है, नॉर्मल खाना बनता है, नॉर्मल बातें होती हैं, दोस्त आते हैं, बच्चे होते हैं, आवाज हो रही होती है, मीटिंग्स चल रही होती हैं, यू नो खाना बन रहा होता है, नॉर्मल घर है. तो उसके अंदर यू नो डांस भी होता है, उसके अंदर झगड़े भी होते हैं, उसके अंदर खुशी वाले दिन भी होते हैं, सैड डेज भी होते हैं. सिर्फ नॉर्मल घर है, जिस जो सबके घरों में होता है वही मेरे घर में होता है. इट्स नथिंग डिफरेंट.
You know, when we talk about Farzi, of course, you just said right now that you just can feel the energy कि अगर कुछ अच्छा चल रहा है, people come and say. अगर मैं आपको पूछूं कि that one compliment maybe from a fan or maybe some industry, I mean, some colleague या फिर कोई family member, that one compliment regarding your character and performance in Farzi that really touched your heart.
It's difficult to take one name or one something. I don't know. I mean, it's very difficult to think of one.
चलो सर 2-3 बता दो फिर अगर
नहीं,
कुछ
I remember my son asked me. Mira was watching it at home, and my son saw the TV and he said, "Papa, why are you running away from the police?" So I said, "I'm playing a bad guy." They said, "Why are you playing a bad guy?" You know. So that was very cute memory, you know, because he always wants Papa to be good.
Yeah, the good and nice person.
Yeah. So that was. Other than that, just a lot of love from a lot of people from the fraternity, man.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. And especially when you see, you know, your colleagues, etc., you know, putting up Instagram stories, sharing appreciation notes. I think when you come collectively as an industry, I think that really, you know, helps because you want to motivate each other and lift each other, especially when, you know.
Yeah, people should do more of that.
Yeah.
People should do more of that and people should do it honestly. I think a lot of times, मैं तेरे लिए story डालूंगा तो तू भी मेरे लिए डालेगा.
ये barter system.
वो barter system subconsciously मुझे ऐसा feel होता है कभी-कभी होता है लोगों के बीच में. But what happens is then some bad film comes, but you say something good about it because you know somebody in it is your friend.
Yeah.
You lose credibility. The audience loses trust in what you're doing. You know,
Correct.
so I think the ones that I really appreciate are the ones that are unexpected and organic. I think those are the ones that you really appreciate. बाकी लोग तो दोस्ती है तो call करके बोल देना यार अच्छा था बुरा था.
Exactly.
I am not looking for those kind of things. Like I said, I am looking for the real stuff. बाकी सब अभी ना 20 years I've been doing this, so आते जाते रहेगा. That the real stuff is rare, and that's always special.
So अगर मैं आपको पूछूं सर कि you know 20 years, you know ups downs again, and it's been a like roller coaster ride in every way, and just like any other profession. अगर मैं पूछूं आपको यहाँ पे throughout the entire time, अगर मैं आपको पूछूं in today's time, where you work for yourself, you work for the satisfaction of your family, but ultimate validation point अगर मैं आपको पूछूं behind you doing anything professionally, चाहे वो acting हो, maybe even something on a personal level, what is that one validation point that you actually see? You know when you've done a great job, you know when you've fallen short, you know, has to be from you, always. It's your connection with what you do, and it's the purest connection. There cannot, nothing can come between you and God, nothing can come between you and what you are doing with all your heart, whether it's a relationship or whether it is, you know, with God or whether it is with your work. It's a direct relationship. You choose to focus on things around you thinking that's what matters. But no, you know, deep down you know. Sir, it's not my perception, I'll tell you very clearly, but there's someone who's a dear friend of mine. She's a huge fan of yours. I think अगर किसी के पास सबसे ज़्यादा crush है regarding you, I think it could be her. She told me this fact, and I just wanted to ask. She feels that, you know, before in the early years of your career, Shahid Kapoor, the star, was recognized as someone who loves to party, who loves to socialize. But ever since the time, you know, he got married, he has a family. You know, his entire peace and everything belongs with just his family. Do you see this change in yourself as well?
Of course. I think everybody, once they get married, you know, for a man, I think it just solidifies you at a very grounded root level. And I think it gives you clarity on your priorities. And also when you have a unit, your own unit, you know, you want to do everything you can for it, and for which you need to give it time. You know, there's nothing that you can do without giving something time. You cannot make it your priority. If something is your priority, it deserves that time. So you find that time. So 100%.
You know, everybody talks about, you know, couple goals, you know, Shahid Kapoor, Mira Rajput, this, that, etc. A lot of people say that. But अगर मैं आपको पूछूं कि, you know, for you, What personally does couple goal define as?
I think two people who can support each other, two people who can understand each other, दो लोग जो एक दूसरे को जिंदगी भर झेल सकते हैं प्यार से.
Yeah, in a cute and sweet way.
प्यार से एक दूसरे को झेलो, अच्छे दिन आएंगे, बुरे दिन आएंगे, हाथ मत छोड़ो मुश्किल टाइम में. जब ज्यादा झगड़ा हो रहा है ज्यादा प्यार दो, you know, ज्यादा distance दो, space दो, you know. So I think it's understanding, you know, it's learning to understand that I am not complete in myself. I am complete with this person. We live our life together.
Correct.
This is our, you know, our universe. So, you know, it requires like that kind of attitude, and you have to work at it. Every day is not going to be good. So somebody who's ready to hold your hand and say, you know, sometimes I hate you, but we'll walk through life together.
Yes, actually.
You know?
I think that mutual understanding and mutual
very important
fact, you know, वही चीज दोनों, we both need to be on the same page. Sir, you know, it's been, everybody's talking about 20 years. मैं भी बार-बार बोल रहा हूँ because I think 20 years is actually a long time. Starting में, I think in one of the interviews आपने कुछ देर पहले भी कहा था कि the initial phase of your career when you just started to work, your main goal was I want to support my mother, I want to support my family, I want to take care of my own expenses. That is an attitude that a lot of you know, youngsters can also relate, irrespective of their situation, you know, back at home. For you as well, you've actually toiled through all that. You know, people talk about the videos of Tal where you worked as a background dancer. काफी कुछ तो a lot of people don't know because they have not seen. It's not out there. But from there to now, you know, where even if it's like a word, the word debut is attached to you, it's not a debut because everybody knows who is Shahid Kapoor.
Sure.
You know? सबसे biggest highlight point that made you realize कि okay fine, I've arrived, and at the same time that kept you humble because you need to maintain that level.
I never have this feeling I have arrived. I mean, I don't know कौन ऐसा सोचता है I have arrived. तो क्या होगा उसके बाद arrive हो गए तो वहीं पे ऐसा नहीं होता है बॉस. हाँ, आज अच्छा था, कल बुरा होएगा, परसों बुरा होएगा, उसका अगला दिन अच्छा होएगा, ये चलते रहेगा. You know, आपको काम करना है. तो I have arrived वाले जो लोग होते हैं ना, वो मेरे को बहुत irritate करते हैं. वो नहीं, मुझे ना ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है that if you do something I have arrived. नहीं. You will go through many milestones in life.
Yeah.
You know, you have to look at your life. Why are you satisfied कि today I have arrived? ऐसे नहीं. That's why you have to go through life. Na? Everything in life is a journey. So you will hit many milestones, ups and downs. You should be proud of the entire journey.
Correct.
You know, you have to look at your career or your life as a journey. You know, there's so many things that will happen in a life. If you are limited to only one peak, you will never see the entire mountain range.
Yeah, yes,
including the valleys, which are very beautiful.
You know, in everybody's you know, life, चाहे वो घर वालों का किसी का हो या फिर कोई mentor हो, you know, advice is something that plays a part. It of course is your decision whether you want to listen to that or not. But sometimes those advices can actually be.
शादी होने के बाद advice सुननी पड़ती है.
हाँ, तो वो क्या सबसे cutest advice आपको जो मिला है, which you actually felt कि it enhanced you as a personality?
My daughter said something really cool. And I'm saying daughter because, you know, you expect an answer like my dad, my mom. But I think there's a lot we can learn from kids. Once she said, you know, Papa, I think it's our imperfections that make us unique.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it just stayed.
So how old was she when she said that?
Now, 6 years old.
Oh, very recently then.
Yeah. So there is, you know, you can learn from everybody. You know, so there's something to learn from everybody. Of course, we learn from our parents. We learn from our friends. I learn from my wife and I learn from my children. I learn from my colleagues. I learn from my team. You have to learn. That's how you grow.
You know, you spoke about, you know, not being, you know, stagnant in one place because आज अगर अच्छा है कल बुरा भी हो सकता है.
Of course.
You know, did this attitude remain in you right from the very beginning या फिर वो शायद कुछ failure देखने के बाद?
Yeah, it takes time. In the beginning, I think in the first 10 years of my career, I felt मैं जो भी करूँगा वो super hit हो जाएगा. You know, so it leads to many disappointments.
Yes.
अरे ये नहीं चला. अरे बड़ी तो ऐसा होना चाहिए था. You know, and then you do things which are not result oriented. You focus on the process. And then the result is a natural consequence of the process.
Correct.
Your eye has to be on the process. If your eye is on the result, who will do this work? काम तो इधर से करेंगे. Correct. काम करेंगे तो रिजल्ट आएगा. रिजल्ट के बारे में सोचते रहेंगे तो काम कौन करेगा?
I love the एक line आपने बोला कि success only comes to those who don't chase success. I think it's a very valid line.
And you don't understand it. You feel ये क्या line है? When you're 20s में ये क्या line है? जो मुझे चाहिए मैं वो chase करूँगा, मैं goal बनाऊँगा, फिर मैं वहाँ पहुँचूँगा. But It doesn't work like that. I wish,
मैं
I
भी
wish
20s
life
में
was
वही
so
सोचता
simple,
हूँ।
bro. I wish life was so simple.
Yeah.
You know, that simplistic, idealistic kind of thinking that you have in your teens and your 20s. You know, and then life happens. And then you go through depression and denial and anger and frustration, and you want to blame your situation. कि मेरे साथ ही क्यों है? Or you go through all those phases.
Yeah.
You know, but you have to come out of them. You know, and then when you look back, it gives you perspective. So you have to go through them. That's life.
But you know, sir, consistency I think is the key. I think आप भी consistently करते रहोगे. I think you just I think और भी 50, 60, 70, 80 साल और काम करना है. मैं भी अभी 20 और समथिंग ही हूँ, तो मुझे भी 25 साल बाद भी आपके साथ ऐसे एपिसोड शूट करने हैं. So that is what it is. That's the goal. Consistency it is, guys. Farzi is a huge success. Congratulations to Shahid Kapoor and the entire team. That's a wrap on the Bollywood Talk Show today on IWMBuzz. This is your host Shubhojit Sunny. We'll see you again with another interesting episode very soon. Thank you so much.